Oh man, Tim. Oh man, Tim. Tim. Oh my. See, Tim got to start this out and make me go speechless. That is crazy. I appreciate it, man. And I tell you what. So everybody that's exact, and when am I speechless? Even my wife will tell you he never shuts up. So, um, those that are going to be jumping in here, the whole purpose of this live right here. Now, I know I haven't done one in, oh gosh, it's been a little bit and they've been kind of sporadic. Um, but the whole purpose for this was just, I want to say thank you to everybody, everybody out there that, has supported, the channel. Crazy Ed, you're in here, Forge and Woodcraft there, Shelly, Healthy Homestead Chick. I got some people backstage that I sent some messages out to some folks and asked them, yeah, John, asked them if they would want to pop in, and they're people that I talk to regularly, people that have supported the channel just from the get go. The intro that you all see, not the kind of hokey one that you used to see. That intro, who made that intro, who actually did that right up there, that fancy little old Castle Hives thing. He's in here. I'll bring him up in a second. Tim Ridgelife is here. Tim, from the get go last year when I hooked up with Tim, just watching his channel, just nonstop show support. Another good buddy that we'll see in a second here, Greg, Nature's Image. My season this year would not be where it's at had I not hooked up and got my packages from Greg. Um, I I am just blown away at those girls, and you know how, just compared to what I was used to as far as when I would get into the hives, I'm just blown away with how just chill they are, how fast they're building out, and all of the oh my god, Andrew, uh Andrew, uh thank you, buddy. That The purpose of this is so I can talk, not shut me up. Jesse, hey, Bradley, down under fella, Fireball Fred. So, and those in here too that are jumping in, Fireball Fred, uh, I got the Fireball Hive named after him there. So I just thought, I got to do it. Got to do it. So, Jason Ilkaniram, what is happening? But I'm going to bring, a couple of my buddies here up. But I just, I cannot say thank you enough to all of the people out there that I have met. I consider so many of you my friends. I just, text and talk, and, so it just, cannot say enough for every single one of you. Look at this, look at this crazy one right here.
What's going on, Brian?
What is happening? What is happening?
Leagues, man.
Andrew, meet Greg.
Hey, what's up, Greg?
Andrew. These two. So everybody watching, these two guys right here. Andrew, the crazy, what, Reebok Spartan? What are you wearing? You need like an Ohio State shirt. Huh?
He's talking to you, Grill Sergeant.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I can't hear you. Andrew's muted now.
I'm muted.
Yeah, there you go. Where's your Ohio State shirt?
I guess I'm not representing, man.
I mean, come on, jeez. And I know Greg. He got his gear on there. That's his. You probably came from working bees or something. I know that, Greg.
There's always something going on around here. It's been a pretty good year, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're always caught with the hive tool going everywhere. You went to a bee club picnic, and when the guy says, "Yeah, you never know when you're gonna need a hive tool," and he's looking at me like, "Yeah." I'm thinking, "What?" He's like, "Your back pocket." I'm like, "Well, hey, I guess I go to sleep with that thing."
Oh man, so the other day I was just organizing more of my stuff, and I think I have like 6 or 7 hive tools that I looked all together, and I'm like, what do I need all this for? You know, but hive tools. And then I ended up the other day when I was working, I looked on the side of one of the hives and fell down in the grass. I looked and there was a hive tool sitting there, and I'm like, well, okay, I guess I left it there.
Well, you know the saying, door 2 is 1, 1 is none, 3's for me. Especially with hive tools. I mean, you can't have too many hive tools. They disappear, you know.
Yeah, I know. We got another person down here. Bama Outdoors, what is up, man? What's up, Jason? I'm gonna bring another crazy person up here. This guy here, so he's another one that I talk to. I think we probably text every day. Our little group chat, we probably do. We chat every day. Sometimes it's just maybe once or twice saying hello, hey everybody, have a good day and that. But we chat all the time. So he's another one that I am just thankful as all get out that YouTube brought me to like the friends that I've met in the last year. I think it's probably been, I don't know, maybe almost closing on a year and a half. So Andrew, when did we hook up on here? It's been over a year, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Probably about a year and a half.
Yeah. When you were just a small fry, you were making hamburgers, and now you're making like 75-day-old aged steak on these fancy smokers and all this stuff now.
Yep. It's pretty crazy with YouTube. It's like if you just stick with it, and like the hardest part is just don't give up, and you just stick with it. And I remember, I think you were in like a barbecue chat or something like that. I think that's how. I don't know what live
yeah, probably.
But I think when I saw your channel, you were at maybe 300 to 400 subscribers, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like a bell-shaped curve. Like the longer you stick with it, and you kind of find your groove, you find the community. But Brian, I would say, I'm not saying you're cheating, but you're also part of the barbecue community and the bee community. So you're almost double dipping, man.
but you forgot one, the homesteaders. So I'm like triple dipping.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Here's this crazy one. I gotta bring this other. He's been sitting back there while we get talking. Evan,
what's up, man? Doing a little bit of driving.
Yeah, be careful. That's why I said when I sent the link out, I said, hey, just whenever you could pop in, and I understand some folks, it's just real life. You might only be able to, hang out a minute, 5 minutes, whatever, whatever it might be. But I just wanted to say thank you. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this. The one here had me go speechless. That one down there had me go speechless. But it's not, I didn't do this tonight just for that. I just got to say thank you, and I want to share this with, I got a group of folks on here that I talk to regularly. This one over here, I'm going to move them. There we go. Boom. Look at that. I got to get together with this one again because I learned so much from him the day I spent down in his apiary. You all, this one over here. Yeah, Kevin, I know. Yeah. See, we make honey and then we send it to the grill sergeant so he could put it on some ribs.
Ooh, so good.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Kevin, we got to get him just to, look at that. We got to get Kevin just to cave and get some bees. And I know the bees that you can get them from, brother. It's right there.
I'll get some before long.
Right there. Look at who we got else here.
Oh, good. Now I gotta do something while he's in here. You ready, Brian? Brian, you ready?
Yeah.
Go Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What do you got to say? Oh, look at that.
Oh.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I got you.
Everybody in here. So if I missed some chat, I apologize. I'll watch it after and catch up. But this one down there also, His Way Homestead, Doug, he's part of, we talk all the time. So another friendship that I've made through YouTube that, I just am thankful for. So, and there's so many in the chat too. This one right here that I got his comment up here, John Battis Bees. When I run into issues and that, there's times I text John. I've met so many people that, I'm just thankful, that's the one thing that YouTube has done.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you're part of the grilling community and the homestead community because nobody watches bee videos.
I know.
Oh,
I know. I know it. I know it.
This is looking like the Hillbilly Hollywood Squares here, isn't it?
Well, they will watch if you get stung and swell up real big. They love watching that.
Yes. But I'll tell you what, though, Tim, if you, and I've said it a couple times already this year, the bees that I got this year, these Appalachian mutts, I work them in, and you see me in my videos, I work them in shorts and a t-shirt and my veil. And I get, the couple times I've been stung, it's from when, I'm grabbing something and I squish one and, well, that's my own fault, but they are the calmest bees that I've worked in all my years. They are. You got to, I tell you.
Into Lizzie.
Huh?
You're turning into Lizzie. Bees and McKees.
Well, if you ever see me in a bikini in a bee video,
yeah. I can't erase that mental image. Thanks a lot.
So Doug, I got a better one for you. I could be in that video and just with the honey dripper and just dripping it, huh?
I'm trying to drive. That's disturbing.
New meaning to golden shower there, huh?
Where'd Kevin go?
Oh, man.
What happened to Kevin?
Greg, look who's in here.
Hey, it's old DJ.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Greg, I got to get down your place, brother. I do.
Well, you know where we're at. There's a whole lot going on. We just pulled a bunch of cells out of a couple finishers and just we're dropping cells left and right and getting ready to get a couple more starters going and just make more and more queens and just keep going as long as we can. As long as we've got drones flying, we've got those genetics we're trying to get out, as
Yeah.
many as we can. So
What is Saturday like for you?
this Saturday,
Yeah.
let's see here.
Yeah, check and let me
Yeah,
know.
we should be. Yeah, we should be.
Yeah.
I think pretty
After
good. I got a
Friday.
pig roast. On Saturday, but Sunday looks pretty good.
Okay. I'll check and then I'll text you back.
We'll figure it
I'll
out.
check and then let you know because that might be doable. So
We're doing on Saturday or Sunday. When we were down at Cayman's Hive Live conference, Kent Williams was talking about dropping 2-day sales, and so we've been doing a lot of that this year. And by the time you get here on Saturday or Sunday, I'll try to set it up to where we're doing the same thing. We're dropping off some. We'll start dropping some 2-day sales
Awesome.
and a bunch of splits, so you can see that kind of firsthand and see what they look like after. And then we already have some that are already mated and back, so it'd be pretty cool to check that out.
awesome. Yeah, that sounds good. I don't think I've got anything going on. Look at Tim. What are you opening up? What are you opening up?
He won't open it for another 45 minutes. He'll talk about it for a while.
Well, we don't run the lives here like that. When
Well, it's
we
like watching
start,
some guy try to eat some freaky food at minute 39 before they take their first bite.
when we do lives here,
We learn from the best.
exactly. Right. Yeah. Hey, and I don't even know if you all can see him.
Ooh, nice.
I got these stickers made up for my honey jars, but you can't see them on the camera good because they're dark. Getting fancy this year.
Nice.
So see Andrew, the next jar you get, it's going to have fancy sticker on it, buddy.
You're moving on up in the world, man.
No, I'll tell you what. I enjoyed when you decide to take a little, a Legoland trip, and Jared the other day. I enjoyed it. Uncle
Nice.
Steve was on.
Yeah.
So, and I had to replenish my supply because I went and checked, and my competition pig, I've got like yay much in the bottle. Competition beef I used on the brisket that I did over the weekend.
How'd that brisket turn out?
Oh, when I cut it, so I ended up smoking it for 16 hours.
Wow.
And then I let it rest in the cooler for almost 6 hours.
6? Nice.
Yep.
Very cool.
When I cut it, so my son and his fiance, I called them. I said, you all are going to get the first taste. So hand it over, and Sophia took a bite, and she went, and they had already eaten, and she goes, oh my, that's beautiful.
Oh, nice.
So
Brian,
yeah,
Brian, you feel real self-conscious when you call me your competition pig. I'm offended by that.
I'll tell you what, Doug, this seasoning, and for everybody in here, Uncle Steve's shake is, it's, when I do a lot of stuff on my smoker now, that's the seasoning right there. Yep.
Is it the Crimson Tide number one? It's number one.
And you know what, Andrew, he was saying he had to change the name.
Yes.
Because of,
Yes, he did.
And
Yeah.
I've got my jars that I have, it's pig powder in that, so
Yeah.
they're old.
Yeah, they're changing it. But what's funny is what Uncle Steve does is he'll put this line right here, and it's called the emergency line. If shake falls below this line, get more now. So that's pretty funny.
Nice.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, no, this, as far as like anything on, I'll pretty much, if it's pig or bacon or anything, pork related, it goes good on anything. If you make jalapeno poppers, I'll shake that on. If pulled pork, pretty much, ribs, anything you could think of. This is
This is it.
Yeah, by far the probably one of the best ropes I've ever tried.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey Brian, I got a question for the grill sergeant. Does cheese and bacon, does it belong inside of a burger or on top of a burger? Or is there a double standard here?
No, hey, I'd say eat any way you want to do it. The whole point of barbecuing and grilling is kind of just you find out what you like, and so half of when I first started getting into barbecue and experimenting, it's try out how the pros do it, but then mix it up for yourself. So I would do such like unconventional things. Like I'd put barbecue sauce on a burger and then throw cheese on top and let the cheese melt. And when you bite into it, it like encapsulates. It's just, I don't know. You just try crazy things and you find out whatever works for you and you just make videos about it. So,
hey, I will say this. If you're the guy that puts cheese inside of a burger, you have to give a disclaimer to your customers or to your people coming over, because when you bite into a burger with 3,000-degree cheese inside of it and it squirts all over your face and you got third-degree burns over here and there, tastes great, but
I'll tell you what.
I gotta go, Bebo. Congratulations on getting monetized. Check some mail, buddy.
Yeah, okay. Hey, Doug, be safe and prayers, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Let me know what all's going on. Okay.
Yeah, he's doing a lot better. He's got 2
Good.
liters of IV in him, so he's feeling a lot better.
He's headed home right
Okay.
now.
Yeah, he's headed
That's
home
good to
now.
hear. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I'll talk to you.
Peace
Hey,
out.
thank you again.
Go witch wife.
Hey, and on the cheese, one of the best burgers I ever did before was with blue cheese crumble inside of the burger. If you like blue cheese, I flattened out the patty like massive.
yeah.
Put the blue cheese crumble in it and then folded it up and cooked them.
Mm.
Oh man,
bacon and blue cheese, man. Bacon and blue cheese.
Interesting.
It's good. Spike, what's up, brother? Ed, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Andrew, it's crazy, Ed. That's what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag you in a grilling little competition thing. And you've got, I think it's like, it starts in like next week and it goes for like a month and a half or something like that. So it's not like it's like a rushed thing. So, but
cool.
I told him, he messaged me and I told him, I said, I know who I got to drag into this. And I'm going to wear my official Grill Billy's tee.
Nice.
Huh?
Represent.
Make America grill again.
There you go.
Hey, Brian, you want me to get your live shut down? I got a surefire way to do it.
What's that?
I was just getting ready to clean my pew-pew.
Oh, snap.
And this is just a case, everybody. So don't go reporting. This is a case. No pew-pews here. Not doing none of that tonight.
That's funny. Oh, see, Brian's going to do it to himself.
Yeah, but what's that right there?
Yeah, well, it's a Lee. You gotta get up with the Dillons, man. Come on.
But I see, isn't that a Lee over your right shoulder?
It is, yeah. So you always gotta remember your beginnings and where you started from. So yeah, no, I love, as far as rifle rounds and precision, I'll use the Lee, but for just pumping out mass quantity, I'll use the Dillon.
Is that, what is that, the 750 or whatever?
So right here is the Super 1050, and right here is the 650 XL. I did see that they came out with the 750. What's funny is I've been out of reloading for so long now. Well, it's kind of the Dillon's fault, because when you sit down at your bench, you can crank out like 2,000 rounds an hour, and then you're like, all right, I have a few years worth of ammo now. So I actually did go to the reloading store probably a few hours ago. I had the day off.
Oh,
And,
nice.
Are you guys experiencing a shortage at all, or is it
Just the cost, price.
Yeah.
okay?
Still there.
Okay, yeah, because when I went probably maybe about 5 months ago to the reloading store just to, stock up and just make sure I still have my levels, and it was completely gutted. And this was at a time when you couldn't find 9 mil, you couldn't find primers, powder, anything. And when I went today, I was able, luckily, to get. They had the bullets, but then they're still short on powder, and then they did have primers, but they wanted, for a brick of primers, they wanted like $300. And I'm like, that's insanity. I usually pay like $40 for a brick of primers, and you want $300? Like,
for 1,000.
yeah, it was just madness. It's like, okay, well, I still have some, but
Yeah.
and luckily when I bought the 9 for, it wasn't like, that wasn't price gouged, and he was able to even give me a discount, so that wasn't too ridiculous. But it just sucked. Yeah, I thought because of the whole ammo shortage, I was like, it's okay, I reload, I'm safe. And then you go to reloading store, it's like, yeah, we can't get anything. I'm like, dang it.
It's funny because my son was talking to his one buddy that he went to high school with, and they were chatting on the phone, and they got talking about the pew-pews, and he was saying, yeah, I got enough ammo, for a little bit. And my son was like, kind of started with a chuckle because he knows how much I have. And he said, well, how much do you have? And he said, I got about 200 or 300. And my son started laughing, and he goes, Dad, how much do you have? And I said, for the 9, I think I can do about 4K.
Nice.
And it's, and where people are like you guys said, where people are going to have issues finding it.
Yeah.
All I got to do is sit down right there.
Yeah.
So, Tim,
you saw that 4th of July weekend. We did about 3,000 rounds.
Wait, shooting or reloading?
Shooting.
Oh wow.
They were doing the pew-pews. Yeah.
Yeah, I did over 500 223 just within a few minutes.
Wow. Greg, that's one thing do you reload?
I don't reload. I've been trying to cut back on how many irons are in the fire. We've got family that does, and we've got some equipment to do it. I'm getting, the older I get, I'm trying to get a little bit smarter, where I'm getting tired of doing everything half-assed. So I figure if I can't do it at some kind of level where it makes sense, then I'm trying not to get into too many more things, You
do.
I mean, realistically with reloading, in theory, you try to tell yourself you save money, but you end up just shooting more. So it's kind of just a wash. You're like, oh, whatever.
If we were doing competition shooting, I think I would.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Putting down hogs and putting deer in the freezer.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey Brian, did you see Adrian's comment there? Her queen flew away.
Oh.
I mean, you're not talking about a virgin queen, right, Adrian? You're saying your mated laying queen flew away. What? She said she had a short on it. I didn't see it yet.
Brian, didn't that happen to you when you had brought this queen? You're like, okay, go in here, and then it was like you're like, no,
twice.
Ha!
Brian, you just got a $20 super chat from NKY Honeybees. Congratulations.
Anil, thank you so much, man. I'll text you. I will text you. And you know what? Bruce's Bees, what's up, man? Anil, I will be driving through your area in October, and I forget the dates. Greg, you might actually know the dates. I booked my reservation to go to that Tennessee Beekeepers Conference.
The date on that is sometime between now and then, guaranteed.
You're smart, man.
That's funny.
Adrian says it wasn't a short; it was on her community tab, but it was a mated queen. She had her mated queen fly away.
Oh, I've had that happen twice. I had it happen this year with one of the extra queens I got from Greg. I was splitting packages, and I thought I was going to be all fancy and show everybody how a queen walks out on video, and she walked out all right and then took flight. And I tried to do this, but it ended up working out because I think what happened was I think she flew out and went in the front.
They do that a lot. That a caged queen, you know, they can be flighty. It's just they're ready to get out and get going. They see the sun, they zip right up there. I'm not sure that I've ever seen a queen that was laying in a hive though. I've seen them on the tops. I've seen them on the lid. You always got to check your lid when you flip it over, especially on a hive that's jamming. She was on the inner cover. Okay, fell off, and I got her in my hand, and she took off and flew around my head. Yep, I can see that happening for sure.
My dogs were going crazy. I had a deer in my front yard.
No way.
Right in the front yard, yeah.
Get the rifle out.
Country life. I got a few of them right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's happened to me twice, though. And both times, Andrew, it's you look at it and you're like, bye-bye $40.
Wow.
They usually, believe it or not, they usually actually fly back. You'll see them and they'll swirl, they'll go around you. They'll kind of orient themselves, and then I'll just put everything away, and I'll check back a couple hours later. Almost 90% of the time when I've made the smooth move on just taking my time. Usually, to be honest, since we're all on this YouTube thing, most of the time it's probably because you're trying to take a video or get a photo or be a knucklehead with it when she does that. Every other time, it's not going to happen.
That's funny.
Yep.
Hey, Brian, have you seen how many queens are in the swarms Bruce is finding?
No.
He's caught like 40 some odd swarms this year, and he'll go and video a swarm on the side of a fence, and he'll start picking the queens out of it. Multiple, like just queen. I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of multiples. I haven't seen any. But yeah, I have heard of that. There was, and I forget who it was that had one with like 3 or 4. It was on video. And I'm just like, I would love that. I would love that. Yep. Yeah.
Hey, Brian, did you see my video today? I put you on the spot, didn't I? I'm sorry.
No, I did. And that's why I was shaking my head, because my mom had a flock of chickens years ago, and she had 2 instances where I think they were pits. There were 2 dogs up the street that a guy was breeding to fight, and ATF was in the garage, and they took some certain plants out of his garage and stuff, but they had gotten loose and they had killed a neighbor dog, and they wiped out like 12 of my mom's birds. And then she had another attack, another 6 or whatever from coyotes, she thinks. So yeah, I know when I saw that, I was just like, oh man, I know what that looks like. Cause she called me up, and I went up with one of my pew-pews thinking if I catch the dog, they're done,
The second half of that video was my bees. It was an impromptu video of my rooster getting killed, and I walked by my bees that I'd just taken the honey supers off, and there were thousands of bees below the hive, below the stand, fighting to mortal death. And by the time I was there with the rooster, there was probably 1,000 dead bees below a nice sized hive. But luckily the entrance was small enough that they all came out to defend.
Yeah.
And then the hive next to it started getting robbed, and they're all fine. But man, I lost a lot of bees, and of course I got stung in the back of my leg too, and it's all swollen up. Like I got like 3 knees on that leg now. But yeah, the robbing. I've fed before in induced robbing, but I've never taken supers off in induced robbing. But I guess I didn't know we were that into the dearth yet. I mean, gosh, I'd set some sugar out about 100 yards away just a week ago, and they hardly took it at all. But that's the difference in 1 week.
Yeah.
And man, I guess I just dropped a little bit of honey, pulling that super, and that was it.
I pulled a super yesterday, and with my new room that I have set up, literally as soon as I used a bee escape, so I didn't really have that many bees left in it. But as soon as I was done, I literally just set a cover on the hive, and I walked the super straight up to the building and shut the door. That way, it was secured. I didn't leave it sitting out, but I've never run into a situation other than my stupidity earlier in the year, just like that, with robbing. And Neil, NKY Honeybees, brother, you take care. I'll be in touch. And when I drive down, like Greg said, it's between sometime from now and then when that conference is, we'll hook up. Yeah, we'll hook up because I'll be driving straight down through Cincy and Florence. So I'll probably drive right by your place. So, yeah. Hey, Dan, you take care too, brother. I see that you're headed out. So,
Brian, have you seen robin yet in your area?
I haven't, and that's what I was going to ask you, if you've seen any down at your place.
Well, like what Tim mentioned there, something similar is I was going through and I was breaking down some cell starters, and I pulled off a box on top that didn't have a whole lot in it, just barely touched. They were just storing just a little bit. They were light frames, but I pulled that whole super off and just set it on its side while I'm working this row of bees. And I'm telling you, within 30 seconds, it looked like Armageddon. The whole entire yard was a cloud of bees ahead, just everywhere. It just took, it was seconds. And there was literally just a cloud of bees above you, almost take the sun out. An old trick that I learned, it sounds completely counterintuitive, but if you get in a little situation there and you've got hives starting to rob, believe it or not, if you crack the lids on those hives, on every single one of them, they all go into defense mode and they all go back home because they're worried everyone else is going to be robbing them out. It works.
Interesting.
Something to keep in mind. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Greg, you might know this because I've never dealt with it, but what's best way to deal with European foul brood?
I've never had it. I'm not going to give you some kind of BS line that I read or saw in a YouTube video.
I've never dealt with it either, so I don't know. I've never looked up any information on it.
From what I do understand, though, it's not a deal breaker. There's lots of things that can be done about it, but it's not like American foul brood. You have to get super uptight.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one.
Yeah. We got right down below me here. That's Tennessee foul brood.
Oh. Tim, you're in Tennessee? Okay.
Yeah, West Tennessee near Memphis.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the South.
Yeah. So you're driving just now started then, or?
Well,
a couple weeks ago.
We've had a really wet summer, so there's been the nectar flow has lasted a very long time, and so the dearth for us just started for me in my area this week, and I'm hoping it only lasts about 3 or 4 weeks, and then we started getting into all the beans and all the stuff we have down in the South, the soybeans and all that, and cotton coming out after that, and then of course the goldenrod, and we have all that stuff. So basically from mid-August to October, I'm fall flow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tim, I know I'm going to put Andrew on the spot here.
Oh.
What is a dearth?
To me?
No, I'm going
to girl start.
And then I'm going to go right down here and say, Tim, what's a dearth? What in the dearth are you talking about?
Are you talking about like Darth Vader? Like, no, I've been listening to you guys for I've been listening to you guys for the last 20 minutes, and it's like, whoa. I find it fascinating though. Like, it's absolutely like, wow, that's crazy.
I thought a dearth was the first 5 minutes after the Tiger King was sentenced that he said a couple things in dearth.
Nice. That's funny.
Pretty bad.
He needs to get out. we need part 2 and 3 and 4.
No, he's pretty much dead, just as Carol Baskin husband. So
just as her husband is, right?
Carol Baskin wants him out, though.
Oh, that's fun. I mean, yeah, that's funny.
We got to have more tiger poppers, and
I know, right?
I remember
they're trying to stretch that whole thing out. One of the kids were watching some kind of, I don't know what it was, a ghost hunter show or something, and they were there at his place and calling up all the spirits of dead tigers, and I'm just thinking, man, you really, we got to get Joe Exotic out of prison.
Yeah,
That's
I even
it.
have so someone sent me the seasoning. It was basically Tiger King rub, and basically
Oh, nice. That's Carol.
Look at Carol Baskin.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
And then I think
Oh, my
the name of the rub, it's so funny, man. Like,
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
Hey,
That's
Brian.
good.
So we're all YouTubers here, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So, and it's this way for everybody. I'm sure it is. So, I like to get my camera out. I do 4K video. I'll have a B-roll camera sometimes off the side for when I walk by or I cut something. I get it in here in post. I edit. I volume equalize. I adjust the brightness so each scene is equally lighted, and I'll get 500, 700 views.
Yeah.
In a week on that one video. I put that video up today when that rooster and those bees, and I just came home and I was at the Tractor Supply for 30 minutes. I grabbed the camera and just walked around, one cut, no edit, no transitions. I got 1,500 views in 6 hours. It's probably going to be 3,000, 4,000,
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. It's just, yeah.
Do you want to know what
if you look at the channels that have like 250,000 subscribers, 300, and it's like these 1 minute, I shot it on my iPhone, probably vertical, and they're funny, but it's like, gosh dang it. Like here we're shooting in 4K and professional lighting, professional audio. And it's like, oh, cool. You spent, 20 hours on a video. It got 300 views and you're like, oh gosh.
The 3 videos that I get hits on every day. Number 1, it's my RecTech unboxing video.
Oh, funny.
Each RecTech one that I've done, there's can of RecTech Sierra steak that gets, it gets 20 or 30 views a day. I've got the folding, the front folding shelf on it. It's getting some, but the other one that I did just recently, it was my vacation.
Aruba.
That thing it's half hour long and it's got 700 and whatever views, and I'm creeping up on like 150 hours on that video, and I'm like, for the amount of views people are watching, and I'm like, so here's a B channel and my best videos are grilling and a vacation.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hey, Brian.
Oklahoma Joe, I got 2 or 3 videos on my Oklahoma Joe smoker combo grill, man. People just like eat it up, man. Grill
My
Sergeant,
number 1 video is, and we've got a small channel, a small, small following. This particular video has got like 130,000 views. It's Smokehouse Hams. Has nothing to do with beekeeping. Absolutely nothing.
I saw you guys doing that. I watched that the other day.
Man, and we just do that fair to Midland like any old hillbilly does. The bee stuff, you're thinking, you know what? This is cool. This is different. I'm going to show this. This is going to help somebody. And it's like crickets. I'm thinking,
Yep.
I don't know what the deal is with that either,
Well, Brian, I've got good news. I've got really good news.
What's that?
My used to be my number 1 video. It is now dropped down to 4th place. It's 4th place. I'm no longer the squeeze the butt dog anal gland video guy.
Oh God.
Nice.
It was number 1 for about 3 months.
That's funny.
Where I came home and my Cane Corso, big Italian Mastiff, he'd had an accident, and I took him outside and I did a video of giving him a bath and everything, and I did the squeezing the anal gland, and it's got it's got 25,000 views right now. So
Oh,
it's number 4 though, so it's way down there.
oh. Andrew, you've had a couple just I tell you what, in the time, well, it's been this year really. If I try a live like this another year from now, I'm going to have to call like a booking agent.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I've had a few videos creep up to about 500,000.
Wow.
And it's kind of ironic because like what you guys are saying, like say if your main channel is about beekeeping, and so for mine it's barbecue related, but it's never the barbecue videos themselves. Like, here's how we're going to cook ribs or steak. Those videos, I'll be lucky if I can get, break 1,000. And it's like, it's always we're unboxing this. Here's the problem with this smoker. Here is, if you're a complete beginner at
content. Searchable content.
Exactly. And so, but it's interesting, to please the subscriber, you have to have so it's like, you almost have to do both. So you almost have to purposely know that you're going to put out a video that's great content. And if they're like into your channel, that's for them. And then you put out hey, this is for the non-subscriber. And it's like, you really have to, and it is, it's kind of funny on how, I think within this year, I think my channel went from maybe like 5K to I'm almost at 30K now. And it was, a lot of it's kind of funny. There's a whole pride issue that a lot of people in the barbecue, they're like, you can't do a pellet smoker. It's an easy bake oven. And they almost like poop on it, because it's like, oh, a true pitmaster wouldn't do it. And it's like, well, in my mentality, what people are searching for and what newbies are, in a sense, getting into, the first guy to say, hey, I'll be your rep and spokesman for, whatever. It was kind of like, it's so funny on how, I said, okay, I'm doing all my videos about pellet smoking, and I got laughed at by the barbecue community. They're like, oh, we're on offset smokers and this and that. I'm like, that's cool. My channel's like going to the moon right now, faster than Dogecoin. And so I figure, and the only thing about Dogecoin is with the YouTube, it's just keeps on going up, where, these cryptocurrencies are tanking. But again, it's, I don't know. It's kind of like, you build your fan base, but you also have to constantly appeal to, to what people are searching for. And I don't know, it's kind of, and then once you think you figure it out, YouTube changes the algorithm, and you have to kind of like, figure it out again. So
Brian, Dan Schneider just brought up a good point that said some of us can't get on vacations. They just want to watch you on vacation. So there's probably a lot of that, people living vicariously through people going to Aruba.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But actually, what's funny is I watched Brian's vacation video, and I text Brian. I'm like, all right, give me the lowdown. How do I get to Aruba? Because the footage looked amazing. I'm like, cool. What I want to get an experience like that. So
plus, after today's conversation, I'm going to wheel my Oklahoma Joe smoker up behind my apiary.
Nice.
I'm going to get views.
Well, here's the thing.
I was going to say is when you have Aruba behind it.
Yeah. Well, what you guys can do is, it's almost like, I never try to put out a video that's completely off the wall apart from barbecue, but I do, I kind of try to push the boundaries. So like, what I'm trying to say is, like, if you're doing, okay, well, your channel's about bees, but bees make honey, and you could put honey on barbecue, and then it's like you make that leap that way into something new. And of course, barbecue videos are gonna, get good footage and good views. But I always try to anchor it to whatever the channel is, because I've had YouTube channels started back in like, early when YouTube first came out. Like, I have a channel started in like 2005, 2008. And if I actually stuck with a theme, oh, dude, I'd be, I wouldn't be on this live right now. I'd be like in Aruba still, like on vacation. But it's one of those things when you finally figure out, like, no, niche down, find your niche, and you just cement yourself to that. And then usually when people are, like, okay, I'm a new subscriber, let me click on his channel. And if they say, if that new subscriber is completely into, learning about everything about Hive related, and if they click on your video and it's like, oh, here's me, futzing around at a mini golf course, and here's me doing this, it's like, forget it. This is just a hard drive dump for your videos. But, I don't know.
Hey, Lila Newton.
Yeah. You know what he needs? You need a video of smoking and grilling some drone brood. That's a real thing. I guess it's super good.
Yeah, Bruce did that over a wood fire, and he was eating them right out of the cone.
What?
Nice.
They said it tastes delicious. He said he actually ate all of them. The wax melted down, it rendered, and he just ate all the little crispy drone larva.
Wait, so you're talking about the actual, like, you'd smoke the bees or the
Well, no,
larva?
the comb,
Yeah.
and it has the little sealed up, and there's baby bees in there, the little larva, little worms.
Yeah.
He just stuck some comb of wax with those babies in it,
Yeah.
grilled it, and the wax went away, and then he just ate all the larva.
See, larva sounds more delicious than worms.
Yeah,
I'd use worms. Use worms as
Larva.
a subject or keyword search.
Drone. But yeah, I think I'll do that. I think I will.
Nice.
Do you know what I saw?
Oklahoma drone brood.
This one over here, I saw him eat something nasty earlier this year. And you remember, I know you remember, and you probably know what I'm talking about, the cicada.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Oh,
nice.
It's super good. It tastes like a once you get past their legs crawling around, and once the wings stop fluttering like behind your palate there, it's not really that bad. It has more of like a warm, wet, salted cashew kind of a thing going on.
Now the funny thing with that, when you're talking about like bugs and worms, is that's the clickbait thumbnail of like, today, you know, like you just see a macro shot of something absolutely disgusting, and man, that is like, that's, so it's almost like you have to create a clickbait thumbnail and a clickbait title, like, I can't believe I'm eating worms, or something ridiculous like that. And then yeah, and then but you follow up with, you have to, so the trick with where how YouTube like fits in your algorithm is you have to have a clickbait thumbnail, but you have to over deliver on that promise. So right when your video starts, it's like, here it is, and you put it in your mouth, and people are like, oh my god, like, it's not a fake video, like. And then as long as you can hold them within the first 5 to 15 seconds, give your best A-roll, like, you know, give it to them, and then they'll pretty much stick and watch the rest of the video as long as you deliver on that first promise. And then what YouTube sees is, hey, a lot of people clicked on this video and they actually watched it all the way through. This is a good video. YouTube doesn't watch it, and then they just push it out to the masses saying, hey, this is good content. But it's really, you know, kind of like the biggest, the biggest trick that I learned is front load your videos at the start with just epic content. And that gives them that hook of like, oh, okay, all right. So, you know what you're, you know.
So what you're saying is, next time I open up a hive and it comes out and just stings the tar out of me.
That is the first clip. The first clip. Immediately, and you have that tension building up, and you're, oh my god, beep,
and then I bust into that intro that I have that somebody made.
Just don't tag us in that one, would you?
I'm telling you, yeah, it's weird because it's like, if you look at your video analytics, a lot of people, they'll click on your thumbnail because for whatever reason your title and thumbnail clicked on it, and it's like, hey, I'm sitting down to talk about, oh, forget it, boring, and then they click away. And then YouTube says, okay, this, you know, for whatever reason, this video is not doing well. But if it's an appealing thumbnail, it's clickbait almost, and they click on it, and that first hook is like, oh my gosh, dramatic, like epic shots. Like,
I used to get, like, if I got 50, 60, or 70 views, then I was content with that. Lately, all of my beekeeping ones they're creeping close to 200 each. So it's getting, you know, there's that slow climb, but they're getting there, and I, you know, keep plugging away. I'll do what I do.
It doesn't matter how many views you got. You've got t-shirts.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a analytics question. Anybody, what's better? 7 minutes of a 9-minute video watched, you know, view time, 7 minutes of a 9-minute video, or 12 minutes of a 20-minute video? Smaller percentage, but longer view time in minutes. Which one's better for the algorithm?
Well, on the 12-minute one, don't you get an extra commercial break because you're past 8 minutes?
Yeah, so they like that. They like at 8 minutes now. Yeah, you can probably get 2 or 3 commercials in there. But
well, so the first one you said a total time of 9 minutes.
7 minutes of a 9-minute video, so almost all of it.
Anything after, I believe, 8 minutes and 30 seconds, you can run multiple ads. And so what I found is, so the whole thing with the algorithm is the longer people stay with the duration of the video, that's what YouTube cares about. So if you have a 20-minute video and they're watching half of it and they bounce, YouTube's like, oh, they didn't stay for, it's the videos that they push are right when the video started. For the most part, it held all the way to the end. But the flip side of that is YouTube does, because they can put more ads on, they do. Well, okay, I don't want to say like 20-minute videos, but like what I found is like 10 minutes is the sweet spot. If you can deliver a well-edited 10-minute video that gives enough for a viewer to be like, I don't have all day to, a lot of, my fear with putting out like a video like Brian did. Here's a 30-minute Aruba video. Most people on YouTube are like, I don't have time for this crap. But realistically, they'll spend 3 hours on YouTube. Like, so it's that catch. But at the same time, if you put out a 10-minute video, to them, it's like, okay, I'm not wasting my time. It's only 10 minutes. But if they can stay through that, but I put out like a 2-minute video, and it's like action packed, and we're talking, and I'm looking the analytics, and there is no drop off. Like this thing is like, you click on it and you're like, wow, this is professional. I didn't even edit it. I had this guy who works in the film industry edit it. Like this is like production quality. This is so good. And yet, because it's only like less than 2 minutes, YouTube's like, I can't show a bunch of ads on it. I'm not going to give it traction. It's like, dang it. So it's almost like you're forced to do the whole 10-minute video, but you have to have that really good intro of that catch. And then you have to, but yeah, realistically, like you lay out your edit. Tim, are you using Premiere?
No, I use Filmora.
Filmora. Okay. Yeah. And then Greg, what do you use?
I use whatever my son uses, because I don't do any of that. He, what is he on? He's on a Mac. So what's the
iMovie?
Final Cut? Final Cut.
Okay, yeah. I use Final Cut as well. But it's pretty much whatever, the program really doesn't matter, but it's kind of like you put together your edit, and then what I'll do is like, okay, if what I edited is like 16 minutes, okay, can I still tell this story in 14 minutes, in 12 minutes? And really, like, if I'm done editing a video and it's like I realize, oh, I'm not going to put it out until another few days, I'll just keep on watching it and be like, can I trim anything? And you'll be so surprised on how much that actually helps, because it's just you're trying to streamline your
Are you guys uploading 4K videos all the time?
I just started, and even if, say, I don't shoot some of the footage in 4K, a trick that I found is if you export it in 4K, YouTube will actually give you better audio and video specs, because they see it's outputted in 4K. So you'll get better audio, and because it's 4K, YouTube's like, oh, cool, we'll push that also as 4K content. So even if I shoot it in 1080, I'm exporting it in 4K. They're only watching it on their cell phones. You're not going to see a difference, but you're going to get the better audio from it, and a better chance for the algorithm to pick it up.
One trick I do is I film everything in 4K, and then when I'm editing, when you want to do that pan left to right, or you want to zoom, 70%, the smallest I ever zoom is 1080. So when I zoom in on something and then back out and zoom in, I never get less than 1080 HD.
Yeah.
So if you're doing 1080, you can go down to 720. It gets kind of pixelated. So 4K everything, edit everything, down to 1080, and the zooms look great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brian, what kind of internet speed do you have there? It seems like you take all this great video and you get it, and it looks great on the computer. And no matter, you try to pare down a 3-part interview deal, it's 15 minutes a piece, and you want to put it out there. I mean, it takes me 2 and 3 days sometimes to upload a 3 or 4 minute video out here. It's terrible, and it's so frustrating and almost demoralizing, because it'll sit there and stall out, and you think, okay, what's the best time to post it? And you miss your window, and it's like, what kind of speeds do you have? Are you guys working with that you feel like it does what you want it to do, and you can put the quality content out?
Hey, Brian, I've got to go, bud. Dinner's ready. Great to be with y'all. Man, it was awesome being here. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate having me on. And Brian, I'm looking forward to seeing you at 5,000 soon, and then 10,000. Right behind me, man.
It's gonna happen.
Tim, thank you so much, man. We got to update that shirt.
Hey, let's do it.
Here's the thing,
Brian. Have a great night. Thanks, guys.
Right on, Tim.
Tim,
Brian,
take care, brother.
Brian's gonna pass us all up. Like it's just a matter of
No.
time when we're like, oh man, we're all these small channels, and Brian's
No, you
Brian's
know, like in all seriousness, like last year, I started all of this just to do the videos so that I could share them with, you know, family and friends that are out of town.
Yeah.
You know, so they could see the bees. Like my brother lives in Cleveland, you know, so he's, you know, about 50 minutes away. And, you know, he was like, when I was just talking about getting bees, he was like, that would be so cool. And I said, well, maybe I'll film them and I'll just upload them on YouTube. That way you could watch them. And that's how it kind of all started, you know?
Yeah.
So, and if I stay right where I'm at, if I don't, you know, and even to get where I'm at here, sometimes I talk to people and I'm like, I don't know what it is. People watch bees, you know, no idea. So Bruce's Bees. Hey, I appreciate you stopping in, brother. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, thank you. He's another awesome beekeeper there, Bruce's Bees. So
Right on.
yeah. But yeah, if I don't grow anymore, it doesn't, you know, I'm not doing this for an income. I do this just to share my bees, and if I can help anyone out that's starting out, then that's really what would mean more to me, you know.
Yeah.
But I tell people though too, like even when I meet people and you know, I've talked to a couple people, and when they find out that, oh, you know, I do a YouTube thing, and even if I talk to them online, I tell them every single time right off the get go, I'm like, what you got to do is find somebody in your area local. Don't watch me, because even like from, and Greg is in Ohio, and he's about 2 hours away south, and Greg does a podcast also, and I'm going to refer, you know, over to some of the stuff that they spoke about on his podcast, context. And it's just so key in beekeeping. Even that 2 hour difference is some of the, like, as far as timing in the season, his area is entirely night and day difference than mine. So look at that. Siri just turned on my Mac.
I was gonna say, you sounded weird for a second there.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is. It's just so different. That's why I always tell people, you know, yeah, I appreciate you watching, but find somebody local and find a mentor local so you can learn according to your area, you know.
That's probably one of the issues with YouTube, though, is it's and I would imagine, Andrew, it's the same in you know, your situation there with beekeepers. You know, people are putting a lot of money on the line to try to raise bees and maybe grow a crop of honey, or you know, increase their hive to maybe sell some nukes or sell some queens. In the barbecue world, I'm sure it gets competitive, and there's folks that are trying to make a name as being a pit boss, whatever you call those guys. With beekeeping, it gets to be a little challenging because you've got, you know, different ideas, different methods across a different country. And I'll be the first one to say it's extremely common in the beekeeping world on YouTube, unfortunately, to just show the little snapshot that makes you look sweet, makes you look like you know what you're doing. And the problem is you pass that information along to folks and they don't understand the full context. They don't understand why it is what you're doing actually works. And it's lost in translation, either intentionally or unintentionally. Folks then mimic that. They go all in because it's just you know, and then it can be, you know, very detrimental. And I'm not sure what that is. You know, we want to find that shortcut to being successful, and there aren't any. There's shortcuts you can find to finding success, you know, but being successful takes a lot of practice and a lot of hard lessons learned. And that's a two-edged sword with YouTube. You know, you can get on there and then people want to, the weird thing is, you remember, I mean, we're all looking like we're missing some hair here and we're turning gray. So we probably remember the card catalog where you have to go hunt for a book to find that piece of information at the library. So you're investing time. You find the book, you find the information. Look at Brian. You find that piece of information there, and all you have a certain investment in it. So there's a certain ownership that you have with that information because you put. What's the same thing with YouTube? Unfortunately, is people think because they spent 3 seconds Googling up the answer and they found the YouTube video that's got to be the way that it is. This is just one of those things. And I appreciate the guys that are transparent and saying, hey, I don't have all the answers. Here's what I do. Here's why it works for me. And if it works for you in Alaska, great. If it works for you in New Mexico, great. But understand that this is why that I'm doing what I'm doing here in the Ohio Valley, you know?
I think at the end of the day, people don't want to feel like they're being sold to, and people want transparency. So they would rather your video will do so well when you're like, I made an epic mistake, and people want to see that instead of that pretentious, like everything I say is, you know, Bible code and stuff like that. Now, let me ask you guys a question, since you guys are kind of like in the bee and hive. Is there like a bee and hive channel that's like, let me ask you this. Have you guys heard of a channel called like Guga Foods or something like that? Or, you know, there's a barbecue channel. Like this guy has like 3 to 4 million subscribers, and he's like, it's all about barbecue content. And something I've learned is you look at these huge million, like, is there like a bee channel that has over 1 million subscribers, or not really?
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Okay.
I don't know. I know Dirt Rooster has what, 113,000.
The biggest ones that I can think of would be like, you know, Bob Benny's is pretty big. Ian Stepler's is pretty big. Cayman's is getting up there, but we're talking like under 100,000 subscribers, I think, for the most part.
Yeah. Dirt Rooster Greg has 100 and I think 13. He's
so no,
as far as
500,000 or
yeah. So I would say the something that I've kind of, what I used to do is, you know, there's like, say, a barbecue channel, it has 3 million subscribers. You're even saying you have 30,000. It's just a tiny little drop in the bucket compared to 3 million. But what I would do is I'd watch their videos, and it's mainly looking at how did they shoot it, how did they get that shot, how did they edit it, and it's always kind of, you know, like what Brian's saying. If I have a channel that doesn't grow past 30,000 subscribers, and it just stays set at that, I'm fine with that. But it's kind of like achieving for your personal best. So I would take these million sub channels and I just studied the crap out of them. Like, how did they get that shot? And I used to tell myself, like, well, I don't have the lighting that they have, and I don't have X, Y, or Z. But you'd be very surprised on how, even if you actually just reach out to that channel and be like, hey, I'm curious, you know, like, what are you shooting on? What lighting do you have? And you'd be so surprised. Some people are, you know, YouTube it's kind of a community. I've never met any of you guys, but I'm sure, you know, in the background, we talk a lot, share memes, this and that. But it is very interesting on how people are willing to share information. So you'll be really surprised on how, like, you know, if you want to take that next level, a lot of it is just, you know, studying and kind of just get out of your head saying, well, I could never do that. I could never edit like that person edits. I could never get that quality. And it's like, well, if you tell yourself that probably is true. But when you say, like, okay, how can I try to achieve that? It's kind of just having that mindset. But I have to run. I think dinner's here right now. But Brian, absolutely congratulations, buddy, on hitting that on that monetization mark and getting that email from YouTube. That is so awesome. And
Andrew, thanks again, buddy.
Likewise, man. And Greg, it was awesome getting to meet you. And I'll leave you with this. As far as he's getting all Tektronic on me here. It's that low upload speed, Greg. It's killing you.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Greg.
It's all good. Well, I'll leave Greg with this. Just in my area, they were able to install fiber optic internet, and I'm getting 1,000 megabytes up and down.
What?
It's mind blowing. We're talking, you know, uploading a 4K video in like a few minutes. It's stupid.
I've got 8 megabytes.
What happened
here? I've got 8 megabytes on the upload.
Oh my gosh. I'll send some megabytes your way, guys. All right, guys. Hey, thank you for having me on the live, and hey, congratulations, Brian.
Thank you so much again, man. We'll talk. I'll be in touch.
Word. All right, cheers, guys.
Yeah. Oh man. There you are.
Well, Brian,
Yeah,
we're an hour in. You know, before I lose my signal, I just want to say congratulations, man. It's a huge thing.
thank you so much,
You know,
man.
we get into our heads and we try to, you know, put things in all these weird compartments. But the fact of the matter is, you're doing something and it's reaching people, and people appreciate that. And I think
Yeah.
that's important. You're being that lighthouse in any way that you can, and no matter what the payoff looks like, you're not doing it for the payoff.
Right.
You're doing it to help folks. At the
Yeah,
end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yep. That's all I want to do is just do this to share the bees. That's it. That is it. So the bonus is I've met all these people, you know. So yeah. But hey, if you do you know, lose signal or whichever, I'll get in touch about Sunday.
Okay.
So that
Looks
sounds
Farmstead Smith. I like that name there. I'll have to check that one out. Looks like they're jumping off here too. But they were echoing a lot of the same comments there, you know. So that's cool. Got a nice community here. It looks like.
Yeah. Farmstead Smith. That's Adrian. She's out in the Pacific Northwest, so she got hit. She was hit with that, you know, the heat wave that came through. So yeah, she's had a couple. Some I mean the heat, and then I think she was hit with robbing and a couple things. That queen now too, so she's had a doozy of a season this year. So
what's on deck with Castle Hives the rest of this year with your YouTube channel?
Man, you know, I 86, hey, I appreciate it. You know, I don't know. I mean, I kind of so far this year, and I just edited some of the video. I got all my beekeeping stuff kind of organized. Look at their Barnyard Bees has over 200,000. Wow. Yeah,
hey, that's old Todd Prater. Hey Todd, how's it going?
But I got all my beekeeping stuff organized. I just over on I forget what day it was. We had rain all day, and I wanted to do, you know, I had time that I could have worked in the apiary. So I went over and I thought, well, I need to organize where I process my honey. So I got that all set up. I got a nice bench built. You know, I got a little kind of it's a nice benchtop table, and then there's a lower portion where I can put a bucket when I, you know, decap all my frames, and my extractor is there now. You know, so I got that all organized. I've been debating, and I know I've texted you as far as how far I expand out, you know. So that's one thing that here shortly I'll be showing everyone that. I mean, just because it's getting that time, and you and I know you got to make those decisions here very fast, because we're getting into like a crucial time of the year where, like what Tim was talking about with the dearth, well, you know, I don't want to play around with them then, because if I do get into a situation and there's a strong colony that just annihilates that split that I do. So, but that's the main thing. But, you know, like I told you earlier in the year, my main goal this year was to get established again. Yeah. And have those strong colonies going into the winter. And I think I'm kind of on that road. Today, in fact, marks 12 weeks from when I installed all those packages. It's unreal.
Wow.
And I know, and I just got thinking, I'm like, I looked at, there's 2 of them that are just massive. I got 2 supers on 2 of those already. And I'm like, how long has it been? So I went to the calendar and I looked down, and today is 12 weeks, and those colonies are just massive. But, you know, I started them out, you know, like I told you earlier, I started them all with drawn comb. They all had, you know, honey stores, they had pollen. So it was almost like, you know, that package of bees was placed into, here's a home for you. And we've already done the grocery shopping, and we've already furnished it.
you're saving them a week each time you make them. You know, if you were starting with all drawn comb, you know, if it's all fresh comb, you know, if you're lucky enough to where it's in the spring and you got a flow on, well, they'll draw it out to Kingdom Come. But you need bees to draw out comb here shortly. It gets to be a little bit more challenging. You know, even if you put a thin syrup on, you know, they know what's up, and that can really hold you back. But I used to be actually, I find myself being okay with just knowing I don't know anything about bees, but trying to be open-minded and not get stuck in a certain modality, because I used to be of the mind where I didn't at some point I didn't find the value in drawn comb, and for good reason. It seems like at some points the bees would rather make fresh wax than clean up some old stuff. But then sometimes I really do see the value in some of the drawn comb on giving the bees a place to just be, and also giving them some fresh at the same time. So while I used to just literally cut it out and melt it down, I'm seeing a lot more benefits on having some drawn comb around to be able to plug in places, especially like what we just said. If you're getting into a place where it's a little bit of a dearth, it's nice to have some drawn comb. They can keep doing the work. Let's see, Greg, these bucket feeders are starting to get at me. Lids, not plugs, are leaking. Went out the other morning and had pools of sugar water on the ground, almost ready to go back to jars. I wonder what kind of buckets they are. Todd, I've talked with Todd. I think he's using the good buckets, but I wonder what the issue is with the seal there, Todd. I would take a look at the seal, make sure everything's sealed up good. If it's the what I use now is just the standard lid, no gasket, and I've had those on for a couple years now, and those work out really good, don't leak at all. The gasket ones were the first ones that I used to use, and while those didn't make an initial good seal, they always had a little light seep around the edge there, which never seemed to be a problem. In fact, it seemed like it helped with robbing. But I don't wonder if it's an issue with that seal over time. When you first compress that lid onto the bucket, I'm sure that there's an amount of compression on that rubber gasket, and over time with filling the buckets and heat and cool, I don't wonder if they can be recompressed to seal up again. I don't wonder if there's been a little bit of loss in that integrity of the gasket, maybe.
Just sold to a local guy who lost a queen. Tried combining the nukes. They were in the hive. Oh, there you go. Rodney here, to be or not to be, he actually won a hive tool from me. 101, what's up, brother? Yeah, he
get your feeding game on point, because we're there, and if you got hives that you're, you know, at that point where you're trying to figure out, are they going to be strong enough? Or am I going to split them down? You're in a good spot though, because it sounds like you're going to be making some downsizing splits in the next month and a half to get them into maybe a smaller setup, or boost out something that needs a little bit of help. You know? Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm looking at. I the other day when I was over there, let me see here. 101, yeah. If you want to, yeah. Let me just do this here. Like I had you know, when I text you, hey, what are your thoughts? You know, those two, you know what, there's probably my very first two on my front stand, and each horizontal hive could probably be split. But
what's your smallest configuration that you've successfully gone through winter that you feel good? Okay, if the weather stays somewhat behaved, what is the smallest colony I can get through?
Double deep 8 frames. I've never overwintered anything smaller than that.
Okay. Well, then there's a good baseline to work from, you know.
I'm not against trying it, you know, but you know, that's the smallest that I've ever, you know, overwintered. So, Rodney, what's up? 101, what's up?
I've been sitting like a fly on on the wall listening to this conversation while I finished up work for the day.
Oh, there you
I
go.
was told via email chain that you were celebrating a subscriber milestone or something, that you wanted me to come up here.
You know, and I did. I hope you got, yeah, you had to have gotten my email.
I didn't get an email from you. Lake Ferry
Forwarded
it to me.
Yep.
So-
Yeah.
Congratulations, Brian.
Hey, thank you, Rodney. Thank you. Yeah, no, 101. I wanted to say thank you because you're one of the folks that has supported my channel, and the one milestone that I never thought I'd get to of breaking 1K. You were the person that it was some major shout outs there, and that live stream was unreal. So yeah, it was. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that, thank you, man. I
Well,
appreciate it.
don't be surprised if you get a few more subs sent your way tonight.
I always appreciate it. I do.
By the way, for those who don't know, I have officially switched over to my backup channel, which is what you're seeing right now, and what you've seen in chat is the all capital ones. So I took everything down from my main until the strike's clear, and then once that's clear, then I'll bring everything back up on there, and either continue there or continue here.
Yeah, I saw. I think it was. It was probably Lake Ferry that put out a small little video, and then yours too. Like, I saw that all your videos were set to private and all that stuff. So yeah. But
that was not the tube, is what I'm saying. That was me for
the
channel.
Yeah,
because they'll go back months and strike you. So it's like,
oh wow,
yeah.
I should turn the camera so they don't see that thing.
No, I don't
keep mine downstairs.
I don't think you're going to get in trouble for that. You're fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
to me, sometimes people don't even know what that is. So.
Yeah.
Brian, it's a tube and a press.
Well, and see right now, so Kevin has to stay because now you can't see it.
Can't see what?
All you see above my head here, it's like,
you can change the layout, right?
Huh?
You can change the layout. You have
I mean, I could just go like that too, but yeah. No, 101. I got.
Is there now a prohibition against having tubes and presses and stuff on YouTube?
For all we know, they could be spreading the thing.
Spreading the thing.
Oh man, that's funny. I know people are cautious about those things that go pew pew. I know Tim Ridgelife, he had a video that got dinged because it, and I didn't see it before it was gone, but it had a pew pew thing in it. So there,
I've got a monetized video about doing exactly that at the place where you do that. So I don't know.
I don't get that though, because
I never understood the whole rules regarding that, because there's channels dedicated to strictly that.
Well, and
yeah, like, but they can't be monetized, right?
No, they are.
As far as I know, they are.
Okay, well,
Rodney, go back and look up on YouTube, FPS Russia.
Oh, don't even get me started on that one. I know exactly where that's going.
So I have to be a little bit careful what I look at right now, because I'm on a corporate VPN, so I'm not going to look it up right now.
Yeah, well, all he does is he shoots stuff.
Well, the thing is, him and Demolition Ranch, got whacked because there was an investigation into dealing of those things that are not kosher.
But I think, wasn't he just using tannerite though?
I don't know. I don't know the whole situation, so I'm not going to speak to it. That's only rumor as to what I've heard.
That's
Yeah,
what
but after that moron killed himself with the tannerite in the the baby announcement, people are all up in arms about that too.
Yeah.
When did that? Wait, what?
I was a month or two ago.
It was a gender reveal.
It was a gender reveal. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that the guy's like, he's not going to be having any more kids anytime soon.
Yeah. I have tannerite here. I mean, I just.
Yeah, I've got some in the house right now.
Kevin, where are you going?
I don't admit to having anything.
Huh.
He's got Wi-Fi's there around the pond. I mean, I'm jealous. Look, he's streaming stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, excuse the coughing, guys. Sorry.
Greg, he just got. If you look,
I've been watching Kevin's feed. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, Kevin actually just got a brand new. Well, it's new for him. I don't know what year it is, but he just got a tractor.
55 to 57. I'm not sure.
He just got a tractor that was all from, his earnings on YouTube.
No shit.
Yep.
Wow, that's impressive.
I don't know what's more impressive, the fact he did it via YouTube or the fact that he's got a channel that can generate that much revenue.
Right. Yeah. Way to go.
Yeah,
YouTube don't pay shit. It wasn't a lot.
It's slick. I saw it and I'm like, I told him, I'm like, what? The day comes and I come down and visit, I'm taking that tractor around the property.
I'm down. All you gotta do is come by.
Why do I feel like I can see you joyriding that Castle Hives?
Heck yeah.
Popping wheelies on that thing.
Heck yeah. I got you pop a wheelie on that thing though.
I got too far away from the house and you guys started cutting out a little bit. I had to head back.
Greg, now see, he's clear out in the pasture.
Yeah.
With a signal like that. And
that's nuts.
Yeah. But you know what, though, like at my place here, I think our speeds are around 100 and like between 10 and 15. So, it's when I upload, and I just started doing 4K. Brian's going to go Green Acres. Rodney says that's funny. I just started doing 4K just because I got a Mac. And the computer I had before, if I tried to edit anything above 4K, it would kill it. It would shut down. And I'm like, I got the nice GoPro. I got all that.
It has nothing to do with you on your end. It's YouTube's compression rate.
Yeah. Yeah. But for me, when I do a video now, like I just uploaded one today that I think it's going to come out tomorrow. It's like 17 minutes. It took about an hour to do. Upload it and process and, do the checks and everything. Was about an hour for a 4K.
Wow. So, it takes days for me to do anything. I've got a 4-minute video. I think it's going to upload tonight. And if 8:30? He's working on the thumbnail now. And if he gets that, I was actually smart. I actually put the video up ahead of time rather than waiting on the thumbnail. And it took almost 24 hours to upload a 4-minute video. And I mean, we shot it in 4K, but when we export it out, it's in 1080. But even that takes it gets to be so frustrating. Anyways, I'll just keep bitching and moaning about that. Doesn't fix anything, but. Oh, look at that. Yeah, Ian Stepler's on there. 24-hour upload time.
Oh, wow.
Gosh,
Ian, how are you?
I was feeling bad at the...
That's funny.
Yeah. Ian's been dealing with some heat up there, too. I saw in his video. He said, no, I don't have the conversion in my head, but Greg, he said he's had like constant like 30s, and just... It's killing them up there.
I cannot
Guys,
get the
I'm going to
Celsius
go
thing
ahead and
figured
pop
out.
down. I've got to go do some research.
Okay. Hey, 101, I'll see you in, I don't even know what time it is right now. I'll see you in a little bit.
It's 8:30. I go on in a half hour as usual.
Okay. Yeah. I'll see you in a little bit, man. Hey, I
Yeah,
just wanted to say again, thank you. Yeah, thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having me up.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem.
Look at Bushcraft. He says with his YouTube earnings, he can buy a Hot Wheels tractor. Now he's just bragging. I'm not even sure I could get a Hot Wheels tractor. It'd be one of those cheap knockoff ones from Odd Lots, I think, is about the best I can do.
Well,
You're ahead of me.
I can get a sheet of paper and print off a picture of a Hot Wheels tractor, so he's even ahead of me.
Yeah.
Well, I've been monetized for I'd have to go back and look, to be honest, but that's quite a few months of earnings saved up. I didn't take a single payment.
Yeah.
I like what Ian's doing with his channel and having the bonus content for that audience. I think that's a smooth move because he's able to dive in and get into some stuff that's a little bit more, I don't want to say intimate, but things that people that you would definitely appreciate that information to get, rather than showing all your cards and putting out everything for everyone who might not be digging that deep to get it.
And I think I'm a subscriber on 4 or 5 channels. Look, there's his tractor too.
Nice. Oh, is that an 8N there?
It's a 4600.
Yeah, nice.
I think, Ian, if you've taken flack for a membership, but Ian's one of them. When I saw, and he did a video and all about, just the thought process. Well, people watch me, but now people are going to pay. So that almost like takes it up a level because, you need to provide a service. But I, like you said, Greg, I appreciate, Ian, what you put out in those videos, and I don't always comment on everything, but I always throw a thumbs up to like it. But yeah, I appreciate all of that, but kind of behind the scenes. And some videos that he'll put out are shorter. They're 6-minute, 8-minute, but then there will be like a 20-minute, a members, so you get more of that deeper dive into the video. I appreciate that. I enjoy that.
He's showing stuff and sharing things that 90% of the beekeeping world is never going to have an opportunity to see, but he's able to show it in the way that he does, and I think that's cool. Everyone, unfortunately, with YouTube, they want everything. They want absolutely everything for free, and they want to own you and your time. And unfortunately, there's always the people that leave the thumbs down and thinking, "What in the world? It must have pissed somebody off." And but I know he's taking a lot of flack. He said therefore, but I think it's a cool move to provide that extra bonus content for the folks that want to help show their support. I think it's a cool move.
Yeah. No, I agree. Keep it up, Ian.
We'll try to get up there. We're going to try to get up there and interview him like we did Bob and Cayman for the YouTube channel. If we can ever get across Canada and back in one piece someday.
I know. Cool. I know. I was just looking at that not that long ago also, and I saw the border is still shut down, and it's like, me, I just think, I'm like, why? I just don't get it. So, the border opens August 9th.
August 9th. Wow.
Okay.
Must be something happening that fits the narrative. August 9th.
Well, August 10th, there's probably something going on.
There you go.
So
I shouldn't have.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I don't talk this stuff.
Yeah. I tell you what, while I know he's on here, Ian, again, I appreciate you watching. And like tonight, I was thanking all kind of people. But I want to thank you again also for, he jumped on, and Greg, you were on after Ian was on that live stream. I just watched that again the other day and totally enjoyed that live stream chatting. So Ian, thank you again. So, and earlier cleaning out my Keurig, and I pull out the little pod, and it was a Tim Hortons, and I'm like, Tim, I can't go to the store because they closed them all around here. And he walks around his videos with the cup. You know, it's like taunting. He's teasing us with this good coffee. See? Yeah. Bar Run. What's up, Troy? How are you?
Troy's in the chat.
Yeah.
Troy, I got your package today from the giveaway. I won. I just took it out of the mailbox a minute ago.
Yeah. Greg, Bar Run Forge there, Troy, in his live streams, he'll do, metalworking. And I went on to his website and I had ordered 2 hooks. That way I could put them in my new bee room so I could hang my jackets up.
Yeah.
And it was so cool because when I ordered them, then like a day or 2 later, I saw he was live and I jumped on and he made my hooks on the live stream I was watching.
That's cool. I think I seen the one where you opened it up and I thought, man,
yeah,
that'd make a great jacket hook.
I'm telling you what, I showed my mom, I showed a couple people, and she was like, where did you get those? And I said, gave her the link. I said, here, go check them out. So, hey, Ian, you take care. I appreciate you stopping in. So stay cool up there. Hopefully your weather improves up there and, you all get some decent temps and get some rain and stuff like that. So, but yeah, take care, Ian. And like I said, I appreciate it.
I like you have all this, you have a huge, just a pretty diverse crowd of folks here that I want to start checking out. Like this Kevin showing off his earnings there on that tractor and that pond. I have to check his channel out, see what them secrets are. To be or not to be, what do you do on your channel?
So I'm kind of just getting started, and I throw some bee videos out there. I haven't really had time to. I'm doing it alone. I don't have anybody else to help me film or anything like that. So I end up with the I forgot to push the start button or the record button or things like that. So I mean, I'm sure everybody's been there.
Yeah.
But mostly I started just writing up stuff for my family. They were interested in what was going on, and I do a blog for them and put a few things out there.
Cool.
But oh, nice.
Ooh,
too big.
Summer squash there, it looks like.
Yeah, it was a little past the sweet size. But I do the bees. I got started in that year and almost 2 years ago. And then I do hobby machinist work and I do software. So that's
cool.
all my life.
Nice. Is that your channel? Is called To Be or Not to Be?
Yeah, but there's really not much out there yet. So
well, while you guys are on, I'm gonna find you guys on here and.
Greg, Kevin is one of the ones that we text all the time. So he's another one that, yeah.
Cool.
I can when I come down too, if you want to know any of these guys, any of their channels,
yeah,
we'll just chat.
That'd be cool. Yeah, good deal.
We'll just chat.
I'm probably one of the few people that's West Coast. And Farmstead, Adrian is also West Coast.
Yeah. I get you two. I get the states that you and Adrian are in, I think, flip-flopped.
She's in Oregon. And she's
you...
in the desert side, and I'm in Washington, and I'm in the wet side.
Okay. I get that mixed up every time, and I don't know why. You guys have told me 1,000 times.
Well, I'm in the Seattle area, though not close enough to Seattle to be infected.
Oh, okay.
So how far from Portland are you?
I'm north of Portland, about 3 hours.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, when we took a trip out there and let me look at the area where we stayed, because we stayed south of Seattle just because we were ducking down and going to Rainier. We were going, down to Astoria. We were doing all kind of different stuff. So we stayed just south of town. Our hotel was in Olympia.
Okay, that's about an hour away.
Okay.
Hour south.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm quite literally, if you start at Seattle and head east, you'll run into my house.
Oh, okay. I tell you what, that countryside up there it's beautiful.
It is. We live kind of in the foothills.
Oh, okay. Kevin, was that a duck?
It's Cotton hollering at me.
Oh. Go back there and how many of those videos did you have where what is it, sheep attack or something?
2 of them.
Come on, let's see it again on the live stream.
Nah, he's coming to. Where if I can get him in there? He's coming over here to get me.
Will that thing butt you?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I tell you what, if I ever come down there, I'm gonna get in there and I'll ride on that thing.
I dare you. I will pay you.
When will it be ripe enough to eat?
That guy you don't want to eat. He's got some big old cojones on him. There's one. I got a steer in there. It's ready right now. If you're interested. That one back there.
Not right back there for long.
Hop that fence.
I'm about to get tore up. Come here.
So they're just like big dogs.
I gotta hold
medium-sized dogs.
You see him trying to get me already? He ain't no fun.
Oh man.
Them two are skittish.
They even have collars so you can walk them.
This guy, you got to have a collar so you can get in here, and he can't get you.
Wow. Has he always been that way?
Yeah. So sheep, if they're bottle fed and handled a lot, they can get aggressive because they get too comfortable with you. Now I'm trying to climb the fence again. They get too comfortable with you, and just not good.
I did not know that. Interesting.
If you're going to bottle feed a male, you're better off to go ahead and castrate it. Otherwise, they'll be more aggressive when they're older.
Do you breed them?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of leave them in the pasture and let them do their thing. And when I get too many, I sell them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. So after this live, we're going to see When Sheep Attack Part 3.
No. What's funny is the second video is so much better and it doesn't have any views. The first video sucks and it's got like, I don't know, 30, 40,000 views.
How does that even happen? Yeah.
Huh.
Greg, he had a video. Was it a goat giving birth?
Yep. That's at like 1.3 million right now.
Wow.
Yep. Great. And your gravel.
I've got one that's got 1.3 million. I've got two, one on this channel that's at like 525,000. And then on my fish and hunt channel, I got one that's at 500,000. And then I've got a couple on this channel that are floating around like between 20 and 60,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Greg, you would like Kevin's other channel, Lazy Pond Farm. It's Fish and Hunt. Kevin, wasn't the catfish one a good one?
Yeah, the catfish one's got 500 some thousand.
Yeah.
What kind of
catfish? And
some people might be looking it up for the other kind of catfish.
No, it's the stupid YouTube algorithm. It's my buddy James, who's a superior outdoorsman, just cleaning a catfish. And for some reason,
one kind of catfish.
It was I think that was just a channel. I can't remember now. I haven't even watched the video since we put it up. But
I can understand people wanting to do that, to see that if they're, city folk and they're heading out for, a fishing trip and they think they're going to catch something. I mean, I know I had to watch a couple of videos on gutting a rabbit because I had bunches of rabbits and decided that they were no longer welcome in the garden.
that's what I was just looking at. I got some small watermelons that are chewed up by the rabbits.
Oh, Brian, look at that comment there. Dan Snyder trying to make a pet out of a Jersey bull calf. Old timers will tell you over and over again, there ain't nothing meaner than a Jersey bull.
Yep. I'm not familiar.
Well, I don't know. A Jersey bull or a 3,000-pound Black Angus is pretty nasty too.
Yeah, that's true.
We had a mean ram years ago. It hurt my mom, so Dad took it out of the field. He had a 2x4 and a broken.
Oh my God.
Oh man,
that's the great thing about bees. You don't need a fence. You're good to go.
Yeah,
no, but you got to have something on your face.
Oh boy, I got a story about. Did I tell you that story, Brian?
We have to have a fence in this area.
No, and Rodney, why?
So if you put your bees closer than a certain distance from the property line, there has to be at least 6 feet or taller fence or shrubberies or something like that, so that when the bees fly across the property line, they don't strike somebody on the other side. It forces them to get altitude. Not
that
kidding.
Is true. But that does work though. Brian, I don't know if you saw the yard here at the house, but I've got all the fruit bushes and all of her whatever herby stuff in between the bee rows there, because the rows are real close together. It does create a privacy screen, a flight screen. They'll fly over your head rather than smack you upside the head with it.
They'll spiral up and fly off.
Yeah. I guess I could see that. That's not a bad idea.
There's plenty of space out in front of mine where they're at, but I'll watch them. And I sat the other day just watching them, and they go out and straight up and over maple trees and all that, because then backwards where they go, there's a huge lake bed that the city had breached the dam, so the entire lake bed is nothing but wildflowers.
Nice.
And there's a stream that goes through it too. So literally half a mile from where my hives are, there's this old lake bed that's nothing but wildflowers and a stream.
Well, which is why your bees were able to pull in so much honey so fast.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it is such a prime spot. But yeah, I'll sit there and they just go out and they're like whoop, straight up and over the trees.
Yeah.
While you're out there running your electric chainsaw.
Yeah. You're going to
electric chainsaw. Is that a real thing?
I have one.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
They're ridiculous. Those things should not cut as good as they do. Oh, and it's worse. A buddy of mine has one of those battery powered ones, and there's no way.
Battery.
He brought it over one day when we were working on the sawmill, and let me tell you what, those dudes cut. Those rascals, yes. I cannot believe how well they cut. It makes me feel a little ashamed.
I did a live stream one time, and this one down here was making fun, and I was cutting down trees with my battery-powered chainsaw.
They work stupid good.
Yes.
I had one when I was a kid, 40 years ago, but you had to have the cord because back then they didn't have any batteries.
Yeah.
But it worked pretty well. And it had the coolest thing. It actually had a button that would sharpen the blade.
Was that the Black & Decker one?
I don't know if it was Black & Decker. It might have been. But I have not seen a chainsaw with a blade sharpener. And I swear I love that feature. I hate having to pull the chain off and
garage. I know it.
My stepdad does, not me.
See? And you go over there and use it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Those are nice for pruning fruit trees and stuff, though. If you got to cut some stuff back, that's pretty handy. You just just take it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm cutting big trees down, I don't want to use an electric.
Well,
Look at that comment.
Hold on. Who's Puke Boy in this instant? Is that me?
Right down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, Kevin has done well. So I'll back up. Tim, who was on here, Ridge Life,
Oh, Tim Bob.
tends to egg on Kevin, and they send each other nasty food. They both do it to each other, and Tim will power through it. And I don't think I've seen Tim get sick. But Kevin, I don't know how many times I've seen Kevin get sick.
Is this the send somebody the super hot chips that are supposed to be devil?
We did that.
Yeah, I remember. I think that's probably one of the first things I saw you do.
Yep.
Was
what's up, Chad?
Yep. Chad, what's up, man? Chad, tomorrow, Chad, you got to text me. Remember, curious, brother. So be thinking about you tomorrow. So, but yeah, that's Puke Boy right down there. And the big one, the one big YouTube meetup that was down in Pryor, Oklahoma, that all kind of people went to. Kevin was on video down there getting sick.
Yeah, 12 times in one video.
What's the worst thing y'all have actually ate, though?
I don't know. The camel jerky was disgusting.
What?
Camel jerky?
Camel jerky.
It was I sent him a bunch of jerky, and he brought it all with him to Pryor.
Earthworm and all kind of stuff.
Octopus.
Well, earthworm's just protein, right?
It was slimy. Oh my gosh! You put it in your mouth, and it just instantly turned to slime.
Oh,
not good. Not cool.
You're supposed to cook it.
I'm not thinking that it would phase Greg though, because Kevin, he ate a live cicada.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's not that. We're backwoods here, though. I mean, when we butcher hogs, I mean, we scald and scrape them, and we save the heads, and they brine the heads, and put the heads in the cold smoker and smoke them out. Then cook them down, squeal, eyeballs, brains, teeth, tongue, and it all goes into making head cheese or terrine.
I was telling Brian, pork brains and scrambled eggs. That's where it's at.
He knows. Kevin knows what's up.
Yeah, that's real food.
That's it. That is.
What does brain taste like?
It's hard to explain. I don't know.
When you mix the brain with the eyeballs and the tongue, it's it's a little earthy.
Where are you at?
We're in East Central Ohio. We're in the hills here. Zanesville is where we're at. Zanesville, Ohio. Yeah.
Kevin, he's like 2 hours away from me.
I got you. Oh, I missed it. What did Doug say when I yelled Buckeyes earlier?
I don't know, because I booted him out of the stream.
Kevin, are you in Ohio too?
No. I'm in North Carolina.
Okay.
But Brian's always saying go Buckeyes when Brian gets in his stream and gets him all upset because he's a Alabama fan.
Yeah.
Oh, at least he's not a Michigan fan.
Right.
I don't watch hockey.
Either. Sports ball. Who needs it?
Yeah.
Well, Brian, I'm going to jump off here. Brian, thanks for having me on, man. Okay. I always enjoy having you down to learn here in the bee yard, and good luck with the channel. I've enjoyed watching you go along. I just appreciate what you do. And I'm going to check these guys out, Kevin and Tavir, and I'm going to check these guys and get up with their channels too. But I just appreciate what you do, Brian. You're just sharing the real passion of beekeeping and not trying to be an expert. You just share. That's what it's about, helping folks out. So just want to say thanks. We'll catch you guys a little later.
Greg, thank you so much. I'll be in touch about,
I actually wanted to ask you about your instruments at some point. Seeing you've got a lot of guitars and keyboard back there. I can see a Fender amp, but
I'm a recovering musician. I think it's just it collects, and it sat for a long time, and now we have 7 kids, and so they all pick up different things. We've got there's an old let's see, there's an old Hammond organ. Some I'm reversing. There's an old Hammond. It's like a B3. It's similar over this. Anyways, I can't figure out which way it's pointing where. And I got an old Wurlitzer electric piano, a bunch of different guitars and amps, and we try to record our own music for our YouTube channel, which is another feat that goes unnoticed and unseen. But we have fun. But
that's obvious. Hopefully someday we'll be in another chat where we can talk about that a little bit.
Look forward to it. Yeah. Yep. We'll see you guys.
Greg, I
love the instruments.
Okay, guys, take care. We'll see you.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Wow, I'm getting ate up by mosquitoes out here.
Yeah, I'm sure. Try flatbreads and what is it? Tripe. I've heard of that. I've never eaten it.
Yeah, it's the best hangover soup. If you go to a Mexican restaurant down here and get, I think it's called menudo. It's got tripe in it, and it's got a lot of grease to it, and get your stomach right.
There we go. You're just so sweet, Kevin.
I don't know about being sweet.
It's so weird to see. It's getting dark where Kevin is, and it's like the sun is just shining out.
It's
like crazy here.
8:56 here. It's pretty light for 8:56.
It's darkening up here too. So, but yeah, it's
bright out the window there.
Yeah, 8:56. Man,
it's only 6, man. Or it's 5:56 here.
5:56.
Yeah.
I got to go help with the
kids. We're far enough north that the sun stays out for quite a while.
Yeah. Kevin, you're taking off?
Yeah, I got to. These damn mosquitoes going to carry me off if I don't get inside.
Yeah. I think in probably about 5 more minutes, I am going to hop off of here as well. 2 hours on here.
Hey, man, that's what you had to do.
That's some good talking.
It is. I'm just glad I got to come hang out with you again for more than that 5 minutes in the car earlier.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, brother.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So we'll talk.
All right, Bebo.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll talk to you
later, bud.
Rodney, I always enjoy when you stop in.
Sometimes it's fun. I always have fun.
Yeah.
So with my bees this week, what happened was that one of the locals put a call out on Facebook saying, "Hey, can someone help me? Because I have a hiveless queen. I mean, I have queenless hive." Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know what you meant.
Yeah, I like backwards talking sometime. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Oh well, so and people on Facebook just started giving her a whole bunch of crap, telling her, "Oh yeah, you got to go buy a queen," and I'm like, she's local. I've got an extra queen, so I said, "Okay, come on over, and I'll give you one of my spare queens." And she came over, and then we both had a brain fart because we miscommunicated how we were going to do it. And I said, "Hey," she decided she'll take a frame, a brood with her too. And I figured just because she's been queenless for so long that I'd give her a frame that had brood that was just about to hatch. And I wasn't really thinking that much. What I should have given her was a more varied, some eggs and some, young brood and some stuff about ready to hatch. But and then while we were catching her, instead of putting in her a queen cage, I put her in a queen clip, and then we attached it into a nuke. And what happened was she got home, and the other bees, she was afraid that the other bees were going to, kill the queen. And so what she did was she put a couple of frames in a big box, put them on top of the other hive, and put newspaper between them. She didn't cut any slits in the newspaper though. And so she checked in the queen a couple days later, and the queen was still alive, wandering, and she let her out of the clip. But the other bees hadn't come up because they can't get through the paper if there's no breaks in the paper. And so I think what happened is that queen essentially starved because there weren't any bees that could feed her, because all the bees that were on there were there was no larva to feed, right? So I think the queen starved. But so we ended up, she came back over and I gave her another queen in a cage, and I said, don't, the other bees, she got them all happy with each other, and then I said, put them in with the other bees so that they have a chance to get used to her smell for a couple of days before letting her go. And then that was successful. It's kind of sad because it was a very good laying queen, and they're sisters. But and so it was kind of sad because it was a really good laying queen, and I'd had tons of broods. And now what I ended up with was two nukes that neither of which had a queen anymore. So I decided I'd combine them into one hive. Actually, I combined them with the one queen before she got the second queen. And then after that, I thought, well, there were basically 8 frames from these nukes in a 10 frame. I'll just take these and I'll put them on top of the one of my weaker hives, or what I thought was a weaker hive when I started the process. And so I combined all of these frames together. I combined the 2 nukes together with a newspaper between the 2 of them, and that was fully combined. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to pull these things out, make one box, sit it on top of another box, and I got about halfway through, and I realized that they were already full. I mean, they were basically so many bees in there that I had to put 2 boxes on top of this other hive, and they were just pouring out. So I think I'm going to have to split them out across a couple of different hives, but that was my excitement this week.
And that's what Greg was kind of getting at, because I've texted him just to get his thought on a couple things. I've got a couple hives that are massive, and literally today is 12 weeks that they've been, since installed. And like I've got 2, they're 8 frame Langstroths, and each of them they've got 2 supers. So they've filled 2 deeps and they've got 2 supers in 12 weeks.
Yeah. And you started them off with comb.
I started them with comb and honey, and they had pollen. Yep.
Both of these nukes were started off with comb from I bought a hive from another a lady that she's moving out of the state. She's actually moving out of the country, and she had 2 dead hives that didn't overwinter. So I took all the comb from them, and I put in the freezer, and did that whole thing. She had probably in there, I would say, close to she actually had 3 hives, but the 2 that were really working, she had I'd say 8 frames, deep frames of honey, solid. And so I when I got those, I basically I put them out in the middle of my yard, 1 frame at a time, and I let them rob them out. That's what open feed rob. And so I let them.
Chad meant to say rod.
Oh,
because Rodney said I talked to him actually the other day too, but yeah, he's got robbing going on crazy down his way. So he's in Carolinas also.
I've had a bit of it. So right after our blackberry flow is basically, weaning off. It's pretty much gone now, and so there's been a little bit of robbing going on between the hives, but it's not to the point where anybody is. All my hives are pretty strong right now, so I'm okay with that.
The only one that I have that was not started around the same time is the split that I pulled off when I found that super seeder cell, and I just pulled a split off. That queen now, when I checked it yesterday, she's got a whole frame capped both sides, and 2 other frames both sides were solid eggs. And it's in a 10 frame. It's in the hive that I won, that 10 frame, that bee cast. They're in there. So there's, 3 frames of brood. And the others, like I put honey in there too, but that's the only one that's not in, 2 boxes. So I haven't experienced, knock on wood, I haven't experienced robbing like that up here. But I'll keep an eye,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I did this year, I wanted to try and experiment. Everybody says you got to feed. And I wanted to see what would happen if I didn't feed. I figured I could feed at the end of the season if they were desperate. And so I didn't get as much honey this year as I expected, or at this point. But the bees they're both deeps on all of my hives are just packed with honey. In fact, I was afraid that they were going to have so much honey that the queen wasn't going to be able to be laying anymore. So I actually redistributed a little bit.
And let me look in my Amazon cart because, well, for my orders, it's in another room, but I just got this book the other day, and it was on swarm management. And it is, let's see here. It is swarm management with checkerboarding.
Yep. I've been playing with that. I didn't know there was a book on it, but that's
so the basics of it, and it's like, I think they call it a packet I think it probably was made at first for a conference or something, but a lot of the timeline in the book is referring to the UK. So it was made, timing wise for the UK, but you can figure out timing of when you should do, the steps that they mention in this book in your area. But the basics in there is they say you should stay 2 boxes basically ahead of your bees. So if they're starting to work in a your second box, in their opinion, you should have 2 supers on your hive like right away. And they also did the checkerboarding. They were talking about checkerboarding in supers, and I've checkerboarded with brood, but I've never checkerboarded supers. So I did.
Yeah. Moving a couple of frames up or down so that that makes sense.
I did it to a hive on Sunday where I pulled a full super off and they were working the second one. So I wanted to add another super just because the flow is they're still pulling in some stuff. So I checkerboarded it and we'll see, But yeah, I've never checkerboarded supers before, so
I've done that to try and get them to draw comb out, and it seems to help. But as long as they have enough honey coming in.
Yeah. Now, all of my super frames that I have, a couple of them were new, but I think probably 2/3 to maybe 75% of them all had comb on them. So they were previously built out frames that I've extracted, and some of them are chewed up a little bit more than others, just, because I'm not always cautious when I'm cutting the cappings off. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
See here. Rodney. I know Rodney's been dry.
Rodney.
Our weather here. Oh, yeah. Our weather here, like, man, that bike was loud. Our weather here in Ohio,
I thought that was out of my house.
No, that was here. we've had like almost perfect weather for the bees this year. We've had the temperatures, and we've had a little bit too much rain, but it hasn't been just nonstop. It's been in spurts. So it'll rain and drench everything, and then we have like days where it's 80 degrees. So, and we still, in fact, have clover in the yards. So, Kevin.
Check out for my kids.
Kevin, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate it, brother. So, but
yeah, it's a learning experience.
It is, yeah. We'll see. I just bought that book, so I'm like, you know what? Let me try it. I have a perfect situation right here where I'm pulling off a super, so I thought, why not try it? So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. So
yes, I had one hive that they had so much in the deep that I was in the bottom 2 deep. So I was pretty sure that the queen was going to get honey bound. So I actually pulled 3 full deep frames and put them above the supers, hoping, because I had a super that they weren't filling up, and I was hoping to get some bees up there.
Yeah.
And instead, what they did was they went up into, because I had frames in the deep, they went up, they passed the super and went to the deep, and they've been filling this deep with honey.
Wow.
So now my thought was, if I was going to pull those frames and I wasn't going to process them, I was going to put them back in, when they started consuming their food. But now they've got 2 deep boxes full again, and they're putting honey in this deep.
Wow.
So I might be pulling that. That hive has got a lot of honey. The other hives are not as aggressive as that one, and that's my one Italian hive. So they require more honey through the winter.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll see about that.
You know what I might do also? Baddest Bees, who he was in here earlier, he and he did a video on this, basically taking a complete Bee Wise. Peter, what's up, man? You take a frame, that's solid capped honey, and you put it in the brood nest, and they'll basically move that out and position that honey then where they want, and then lay up. That frame is basically then, gives the queen space to lay also. And it just gives them that ability. Well, they can disperse that honey out to exactly where they want it. And he's done it and done videos and shown, yep, it works. And, so I might I have 9 or 10 completely capped deep frames. That is, they've been filling them. I'm taking them in and storing them. That way they can just keep filling them. So I have all the stores for the winter. So if I need to supplement in a frame, if a hive gets low, I can just pop in a deep. So
what, are you keeping them in a freezer, or?
I have them hanging on a rack. I've got that rack that's in the open air, and I've been watching them. They've been fine. No mold on them.
As long as it's dry enough.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no mold. I haven't had pests get at them. Nothing. So,
Cool.
And I got a bug light in there though too. So if there's anything that flies, I've got it. Light. So I think about 9:30 or 10 o'clock, it flips on for like 2 or 3 hours. Bug light goes on, and so we'll see. We'll see. Beehive Homestead, what's up, man? Oh man.
Yes, Brian has a nice rack, and he's proud of it. It will not shame him.
Rack. It's an excellent rack. God.
I don't have any I have Italians and Russians. Technically, they're a Russian hybrid, and they call them survivor bees here, but they're Russian based. When I came out of last winter, my Russian hives still had almost a full hive of honey. I mean,
Wow.
they just don't consume very much, but they have a much smaller cluster than the Italians. The Italians are much bigger, so you're constantly thinking, oh, are they going to make it? Are they going to make it? But they do. They just don't. They don't need as many bees to make it through the winter, which is kind of a little bit scaring me, because right now it's my Russians that are having these huge amount of bees that, I mean, they're just pouring out of the hive. It's just like, what do I do with them? But they're not attempting to swarm.
That's a good thing.
So yeah,
I'll be curious. Like all of my packages this year, they came from Greg, and they're from Don the Fat Bee Man, and he basically has. They're all mutts. Like, he doesn't keep Italians or Russians or whatever. He, through the years, he'll select a certain hive for the certain traits that it has, and he puts that into his breeding stock. So all of his bees have been bred through the years for, brooding up fast, packing in the honey, surviving, so I can't take this chat. Look at it. Look.
Real perky.
Oh my.
Yeah, I mean, it was my hope that basically I have some Italian stock, because everybody up here gets Italians from California. It's just
okay.
They're easy to get, because when the almonds get done, they all come up here, and then all the local bee people, and then there's one apiary that sells the Russians or Survivor, and I got 2 queens from there, and I've been allowing them to breed locally and keeping the ones that are working out. So I'm hoping that over time I will basically have mutts that are really good in this area.
How far away, and do you know where Oliveira's honeybees is?
Look, can you give me a city? Yeah, let me.
OHB is what it is. Like, if you look it up, he's one of the, I think he's the only one in the States that has the like true Saskatraz bees.
Oh, he's a Yeah, there's a number of local places that sell the Saskatraz. I think they're selling them from him, though, is my guess.
Yeah, I wonder if, because you're out there, if you could order and get any from that apiary, since you're, really, I mean, you're West Coast.
Yeah, they're Northern California. I mean, so to go from
California's
Portland to Northern California is a minimum of 4 hours. To get to Portland, it's 3 hours. So it's 7+ hours. I'm trying to see if let's see, contact Orland, California. Well, he's got a map here.
I've tried some, and they were decent bees.
Yeah. So he's between Redding and Sacramento. So he's quite a ways away from me. I mean, but people don't realize how big the West Coast is.
Yeah.
Essentially, from where I am to you would be, let's see, you're in Ohio. It would be the same distance as probably going to Jacksonville, is my guess.
Gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would probably be about the same distance. But maybe I'll look at those.
Kevin, yes, they were ones that did not survive, but me in my, apiary, in my bee yard, I didn't discriminate. I made sure that every single bee that I had, they all perished. So I didn't want to say, well, Italian ones, you girls will make it. Russians, you're kind of shady. You're doing some hacking and stuff like that. So let's take you out too. I made sure they all perished.
Yeah, and you have a belief that it was mites that, going into winter, that just, so you're gonna treat like crazy for mites in October, November, right? Every 3 days.
I just took off, 3 weeks ago, I took off the Apivar. And as soon as I'm kind of looking at how the flow goes right now, when it tapers down that I'm going to pull some supers off, then I'm going to hit them with OA.
Yeah.
And when I do my vape gun, I'm going to probably do 6 or 7 treatments every 4 days.
So I did 3 days, then 4 days every other.
Mhm.
So basically twice a week. I think I'm going to try every 3 days this year. I read another paper that basically 4 days is good, but essentially what it comes down to is the OA, the little crystals, can be found in the hive for about 3 days as effective.
Its half-life is so short.
Yeah, and so the bees, you know, it's a nuisance to them, but they don't really care that much.
Yeah.
Now you've got the vape gun, so that's going to be more. You get a better. You know, I'm still using the pan.
Oh, okay.
And
did you happen to do a mite wash before you did your treatments and then after?
What I have done it occasionally, but around here it's pretty easy to see there's mites dropping, and if there's mites dropping, there's mites.
Yeah.
Now another thing that I've been doing also is when I pull out a frame, if it's got a bunch of almost ready to come out drones, I actually use one of those dental picks.
Yep.
And I'll pull a drone out, and when you pull I'll pull 10 drones, and you can, if you're starting to see, you know, a bunch of varroa on the drones, then you know you got an incoming problem.
Yeah.
And so before those drones hit, you want to be treating with something that, I mean, either you treat with the formic acid to get them while they're in the drone state, or you treat with you know, the full
Did
21.
you see my little short that I put out of the varroa that I found on a drone?
And I don't think I saw that. How long ago?
Maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, I haven't been on that much, which is why I saw you and I got to talk to him.
Yeah, it's been about 2-3 weeks because I pulled the Apivar out of the hive, and I was just cleaning up some frames, and there was this, you know, that inch layer of drone comb that they built on the bottom of the frame. So I took it off real easy. And hey, Kevin, will do, brother. Thank you again. I'll talk to you here soon. But I took that off and I thought, I'm going to save it. So I set it aside. And once I was done with everything, I went up and, you know, I forget what I had, but I was, you know, real careful, and I was just picking the wax off, and 2 varroa on a drone.
Yeah.
And I thought, and literally I just pulled the Apivar, and it's like,
well, and the bad thing is you can't use Apivar with your supers on, so you got to be careful when you're using it.
Yeah,
I don't think any treatment is foolproof. They survive formic acid, they survive oxalic acid.
Yep.
It's just the whole objective of treating is to keep the numbers to a manageable level so that they don't spread the disease as quickly.
Yep.
If I had chickens, I would do if I had chickens, I would do the I would put a drone frame in there, because, you know, I actually so I got the little dental pick. They sell them at Harbor Freight. I'm not a Harbor Freight fan, but they sell a set of those dental picks. And I'm not. I go there. I buy the stuff that's cheap. For my real tools, I buy good tools. But
I love Harbor Freight.
but I just, you can, with the dental pick, you can pull out pull them out, and I found a couple. I actually found one that had 5 mites in the bottom of a drone comb in the spring. And I'm like, you can count them because they're big enough that you can see them. So all of the books that I'd read said there'll be 3 in there, right? A male and 2 females. No, there were 5. So they're capable of breeding faster than they think. Most of them didn't have more than 3, but
that's interesting. When I saw him, I was just like, but like people last year, I think Cayman actually spoke about it. Like just using Apivar, it doesn't work.
Nope.
You have to, your treatment schedule, you have to use multiple, treatments and different. If you're using Apivar, and they say too, from what I've heard, if you're using oxalic acid, supplement in, the Apivar also in there. That way you're just nonstop hitting them.
I know people have a bad taste for formic acid, but formic acid, if you read the paper, there's a paper on it from the USDA when they made the approval. It's one of the only ones that they kind of understand how it works, and essentially formic acid suffocates them. It doesn't poison them. It suffocates them. They can't breathe. And that's according to the FDA paper I read on it.
I've used formic, and for me, like where I got into problems, the weather in Ohio fluctuates so much.
And in fact, remember we had that heave wave. I was just at the end of my treatment right as that heat wave here ramped up. If I had started it, we didn't have very much warning. If I would have started it 3 days before, it probably would have wiped me out. But now the other thing is, I did the Formic Pro people. They now approve 2 different ways of doing it. One is to have the way that most people do it is to put 2 pads between the brood boxes, and the second way is to put 1 pad between the brood boxes for 14 days. I mean, for 10 days, and then swap it out for another one 10 days. That's what I did. And I didn't have very much loss. I had some loss, and I think part of that loss was you crush bees when you're putting the pads in there. Bees like to get in the way for some reason, but I didn't lose any queens to the Formic.
That's good.
And actually, I had a queen that was only laying for 2 weeks before I did the Formic in there. She was a new queen, but you want to do all your hives at the same time or close, and she survived it. And she actually laid right through the Formic. She didn't lay real close to it, but she laid both in the top and bottom box with the Formic on there. Now that said, I think my treatment plan is basically in spring I will use the Formic when I can kind of tell what the weather's going to be, and then in fall, late summer and early fall, I will do the OA, and then I also will do an OA in winter opportunistically. If we warm, because every winter there's always a couple of weeks where the sun will come out and warm up for a little, and I'm going to take the opportunistic hits on that because there's no brood, right?
Yeah, we get that here too. So it's, that's what I figure. I can take that vape gun out and a minute a hive and just nail, I could go through, I think I have 11 now. I could go through that in under half an hour.
Yep. And even if all it does is knocks them down, it helps the hive come into spring stronger. As long as you're not doing it when they need to break the cluster. in order for it to be useful.
Right. Right.
I've never tried the oxalic drip. That scares me a little bit. I don't like putting water on my bees, but some people have luck with that.
Yeah, I've seen that too, and I just never, I never really considered that as a treatment option. So, but yeah, 2.5 hours, buddy.
Yep, you need to go. It's fun talking with you.
Yeah, no, it was great talking to you. Also, we'll chat again. I'll let you know. I've got your email. I'll let you know, and I can message you. I'll let you know when when I talk to Greg and I get Greg on another live, and we can all chat some bees again. So get some people on here and chat bees, man. So, but yeah, well, Rodney, I appreciate you popping in.
Congratulations on monetization. Now I can have to watch commercials in order to see you.
That's crazy.
And you'll get a little tiny bit of money.
Right. I'll have to tell my kids that. I'll be like, when people watch me now, there's commercials.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. And
thank you. Hey, Peter, I still have not forgotten about doing a live and getting NKY honeybees and also you on there, because we got to get the accents going. So still have not forgotten about that. So I'll get that together here soon, and we'll get a good bee chat going. So, but Rodney, thank you for joining, and thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I do.
Yep. I love to see what you're doing, and I learn as much from you as you learn from me, and probably more.
That's what we're all here for, is to learn from each other.
And when it comes down to it, we're saving the planet.
That's it. Yep. I love my bees.
My wife has been giving me a very hard time, because even when it's not time to inspect, I got to go and watch them fly in and out for a while. It's relaxing, and people don't understand it. It is so cool to be around a hive that's buzzing, and they don't care about you. They just do their thing.
I have a plastic chair that is sitting in my apiary, and it's over at my mom's property, and I'll drive over sometimes. And just like you, I have no intention whatsoever of doing an inspection. That chair is about 10 feet off the side of where the stands are, and I just watch, and it's like a bee highway, and I'm just watching them go back and forth, and I love it. Love it. So,
all right. Well, have a good week. We'll talk to you later.
All right. You as well. Yeah, I'll talk to you.
Bye, Internet.
So, everybody in here, again, thank you for the support. Blows me away. Where the channel's at now, it blows me away. So, but look for more coming up. I got to get some honey extracted. And I got the new honey room that I've set up. So I got a video partway done for that, but I want to show everybody the process of how I'm going to extract that, just how things work. And then if anybody has any tips, I appreciate those tips as always. So I got one, and I somewhat did this, but I watched Bruce's bees with him cleaning his wax. I'm going to set that up all over there. I have a crock pot that's nasty, set it all up. So, but look for more coming up. There'll be a little bit. So, but everybody take care. Thank you for joining in. This live loved it. So, but y'all take care. Have a good night.